Greetings YouTube, this is episode 22 of TEW 2016 Red vs. Blue, and we are live for Smackdown Live. It's the go-home show for this Sunday's Backlash pay-per-view, and this show is being held in front of 7,915 people at Beasley Coliseum. Now, the first thing I want to do to get out of the way is the status of the WWE Universal Champion John Cena. If you remember on Raw the previous day, he dislocated his ankle in the main event matchup. Now, there's some good news for it, in a way. I'm going to paraphrase that with an asterisk. The good is in an asterisk. John Cena, despite having a dislocated ankle, will only be out 25 days. Now, of course, that's good news because I'm going to be without, the Universal Champion for less than a month. However, as someone who likes a little realism, it takes more than 25 days to recover from a dislocated ankle. I mean, even with John Cena's, cyborg-like recouping powers, usually 2 months minimum to recover from a injury like a dislocated ankle. So I just had to go into the editor and for the future to bump up the severity of a dislocated ankle. So in the future, you won't get someone who dislocates their ankle but will be out for less than a month. But obviously with the Raw pay-per-view being in just under 2 weeks from now, we're going to have to get a new main event, and I am still trying to put together a main event for that pay-per-view, and that will be announced on the next Raw episode. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get the go-home show to WWE Backlash out of the way. In the opening match, Dolph Ziggler defeated Apollo Crews in 9:56 by pinfall with a zigzag. The rating kind of disappointed on, only got a 65C rating. Was hoping for a little bit more, at least a C+. Apollo Crews had an in-ring performance of 48, Ziggler 67, no worker improvements. And after the match, as Ziggler is celebrating his victory, like not too long after the match ends, AJ Styles comes in and nails a phenomenal forearm on Ziggler, knocking Ziggler to the mat. And, this catches the club off guard as they were at ringside with Ziggler. And since AJ came in and nailed Ziggler with a phenomenal forearm so fast, the club didn't see it coming. So, as soon as AJ hit the phenomenal forearm, the club rushed to the ring, and this gave AJ enough time to, get out of dodge and run back up the ramp, and he taunts the club from the ramp as they're trying to help Ziggler recover from that hit and run attack. So that segment got a 70C+ rating. And the next match, in a battle that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, Cassius Ohno defeated Xavier Woods 9:05 by submission with a Hangman's Clutch 3 after interference from an unnamed individual. He attacked Xavier Woods, which allowed Cassius Ohno to get the win. So Woods had an in-ring performance of 59, Ohno 55. And Ohno's improving in performance skills, and the match got a 62C rating. And then after the match, the New Day ends up getting beaten up by the Embassy, Sawyer Fulton, Cassius Ohno, and this new guy that has yet to be named. Of course, as you can see here, you can see the person's name is Silas Thomas, which is actually our Ring of Honor star Silas Young. Silas Young is the newest member of the Embassy, and they proceed to beat down on the New Day. No worker improvements, and the segment got a 73B- rating. In the next match, in a bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat, Sasha Banks defeated Ashley Rain in 8:09 when Ashley Rain was disqualified when Paige and Alicia Fox ran in and attacked Sasha Banks. Ashley Rain had an in-ring performance of 44, Sasha Banks 57, and Ashley Rain is improving her performance skills. The match got a 55C- rating, so not too bad there. And then we follow up with a backstage interview. Renee Young is with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, and they're being interviewed about their main event match tonight against Roman Reigns and Chris Jericho's opponent at Backlash this Sunday, the WWE Champion Dean Ambrose. And Jericho talks about how he won the #1 contendership match last week, and now this Sunday at Backlash, he's going to become the new WWE Champion. And Chris Jericho vows to, beat beat Ambrose, and then he's going to become WWE Champion once again, and he's going to bring back a little dignity and class to the WWE Championship because he doesn't like the fact that there's a lunatic like Dean Ambrose running around representing the company. And then Renee Young brings up the fact that, someone from the Forgotten has a WWE Championship opportunity coming up in the future, and what does Jericho think about possibly facing one of them in the future? And Jericho kind of laughs. He's like, I'm going to have no problem beating Dean Ambrose, and I definitely will have no problem beating any of those never wases that, are out here crying every week about how they never got an opportunity in the WWE. And, as much as he could say about Dean Ambrose, at least Dean Ambrose has accomplished something that the those 5 jackasses have never done. That's become WWE Champion. So when Jericho becomes WWE Champion again at Backlash, he will have no problem disposing of any of those forgotten jackasses, and then afterwards he will continue on and become the best WWE champion of all time. And then Kevin Owens chimes in. He's like, hey, Chris, are you going to give me a title shot when you win the title? And Jericho's like, well, we'll see. You have to, earn that opportunity, which I don't think you have, because honestly, when's the last time you've won a pay-per-view match? Which Kevin's like, well, if, one of these GMs, if Edge actually books me for a pay-per-view match, then, I would actually win one. But, it's hard to win a pay-per-view match if you're not actually booked to be on a pay-per-view. So, just basically Jericho hyping up his title match, and Kevin, letting his intentions known that he wants to be WWE Champion too. So that segment got a 72B- rating. And we move on to the next match in a mixed match type tag team match. In a bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, Luke Harper and Victor of the Ascension defeated Enzo Amore and Jimmy Uso in 10:22 when Luke Harper defeated Enzo Amore by pinfall with a spinning side slam. Jimmy Uso had an in-ring performance of 55, Enzo 53, Victor 47, and Luke Harper 61. Jimmy Uso is improving in performance skills, and Enzo Amore is improving in technical skills, and the match got a 60C- rating. So yeah, this just, is hyping up their 8-man tag at Backlash, where the Ascension, Bray Wyatt, and Luke Harper will be taking on the Usos and Enzo and Big Cass. And then we get a backstage promo. Renee Young is with Sasha Banks and Naomi. and Sasha is upset that, you know, Paige and Alicia Fox keep, you know, making her and Naomi's life a living hell, and they brought in this Ashley Rain, and now they've got a 3-on-2 advantage, and, you know, they're sick and tired of always being ganged up on, and, you know, Sasha thinks that her and Naomi should get on the phone and contacts another woman to come and help them out. You know, it could be someone from NXT. It could be another woman that has been wrestling all over the country, much like Ashley Rain was before Paige and Alicia Fox brought her in. You know, and then, you know, maybe they can even up the odds. So they're issuing a challenge to Ashley Rain, Paige, and Alicia Fox to a 6-woman tag match at Backlash, where they will introduce their mystery partner at that time. So that segment got a 60/60 plus rating. So, who will Sasha and Naomi pick to be their mystery partner? I know, but do you? That is the question. In the next match, in a poor match, Baron Corbin defeated R-Truth in 6:38 by pinfall with an end of days. R-Truth had an in-ring performance of 39, Baron Corbin 54. No worker improvements. The match got a 50D plus rating. If this was just a filler match to get Baron Corbin a win. And then we get a backstage promo. Not a good rating considering it's The Miz. Basically, The Miz is hyping up his match for the Intercontinental Championship against Sami Zayn this Sunday at Backlash, saying, you know, Sami Zayn might have, you know, hung in there against Brock Lesnar, but at the end of the day, he still lost. And, you know, come this Sunday, he's going to lose again, because The Miz is the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, and he's awesome. So that got a 64 seat rating. Was hoping better than that from The Miz. I figured he would have gotten at least a B- in that segment. So in a decent match, Sami Zayn defeated Alberto Del Rio in 15:56 by pinfall with a haluva kick. And Del Rio and Sami didn't click, which is kind of disappointing. Del Rio had an in-ring performance of 64, Sami Zayn 66. That match only got a 68 C plus rating. I mean, if they actually clicked, or, you know, just had no positive or negative chemistry notes, I would think maybe it would have gotten a B- rating. So kind of disappointing there. After the match, The Miz comes in and starts attacking Sami Zayn. He goes to give Sami Zayn a skull-crushing finale, but Sami Zayn reverses it and hits Miz with a Blue Thunder powerbomb. And Sami Zayn then poses with the Intercontinental Championship. And the segment got a 72 B- rating, so a pretty good rating there. And then in our main event, and a bout that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens defeated Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose in 1840, when Chris Jericho defeated Dean Ambrose by pinfall with a code breaker. Kevin Owens had an in-ring performance of 69, Chris Jericho 77, Dean Ambrose 86, and Roman Reigns 84. So yes, Chris Jericho got a clean pinfall victory over Dean Ambrose, leading up to their title match this Sunday at Backlash. And then we end the show with a 71 C plus rating. It's just the show ending with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens celebrating their victory over Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. And the show closes with them posing on the ramp, taunting the crowd and Roman and Dean, who's in the ring, recovering from their defeat. And we end the show, and it got a 75 B- rating. Not too incredibly bad. I mean, we definitely have had, much worse ratings. So, I'm not going to complain about that. So, coming up this Sunday in game time will be Backlash. And we've got, of course, the main event, Dean Ambrose defending the WWE Championship against Chris Jericho. We'll have AJ Styles taking on Dolph Ziggler. We'll have The Miz defending the Intercontinental Championship against Sami Zayn. An 8-man tag, the Usos and Enzo and Big Cass taking on the Ascension, Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. And then we'll have the New Day taking on the Embassy in a 6-person tag match. And I'm sure we're going to have a couple more matches. I'm looking at Roman Reigns against Kevin Owens, since they are both without a match, and that's a good match to get on the show. But we'll see once we get to the show. So until next time, take care.